Hey man, it's me, your boy DJ Strick. Listen, I gotta play the intro one more time because I hadn't shared it yet. I need some more time.
We live? Yeah. Strick City. Woo! Strick City. All over the world.
Strick City, man, we live. Yo, Strick City on the ride. Yo, look like surprise. Yo, taking your city like we live. Yo, man, we live. Yo, taking your city like surprise. Yo, on the ride. Yo, Strick City coming live. Yo.
So much better. I'm good now. I'm good. I needed just a couple of extra seconds to do what I need you to do right now, which is share the show. It's Strick City Live. It's Thursday night, and it's 8. It's not 8 o'clock, is it? It's like 8:12, 8:19, something like that. We're on though. This is like one of the reasons why I like doing my own show. I say we start at 8, but we really start around 8-ish. You know what I'm saying? Somewhere around 8 o'clock. Probably not the double zeros. You know what I'm saying? But we here for you tonight. And I know it's tons of things that you could be watching, but why not hang out with your boy Strick? You know what I'm saying? It's me and you. I got some new things that I got going on here in the studio. And some of the stuff is just acting up. Of course, I want everybody to hit me up on Instagram, but I don't want to show this the whole time. So let me see if I can hide some of this stuff. Boom. There we go. And if I want to play it, I can just hit play. No, I need you to play. There you go. And then that's supposed to like go away after a few minutes. But it doesn't. Figure it out later. Hey, it's your boy Strick. And you know what? I've shared it. You're sharing it right now. We have somebody I need you to see. But before I get to my guest, I got to talk about my girl, A-Lo. She's hanging out with me today. So let me bring her up, talk to her. Let me talk bad about her before she comes on. Like she hadn't been on the show in a while. She's just been chilling. Like where you at, A? Like I need you on the show. But she's here tonight. So, A, I'm not going to talk about you that bad, but it's good to see you. How are you doing? You're frozen over there. Let me try this. You're frozen again. So since you're frozen right there, I can just go. It's me and you talking right now. Okay, there you're kind of going. You're going back and forwards. You know, you got your Janet Jackson look on tonight.
Jesus.
Or your Michael Jackson look on tonight. Which one is it?
I cannot respond, and this is horrible because I really want to say something. This is so bad. Why is this happening? As soon as we go live, this happens. Can you hear me at all?
I hear you loud and clear. You're coming through audio-wise, but I don't see you. I just see, like, you. At least you're smiling. You're smiling with your eyes closed. If I go to this screen, you're smiling with your eyes closed. And I got your little name plate up, and everything. I've been working over here.
Yeah, you're doing such a great job. It never fails. As soon as we hit the live button, something just wants to act crazy. Now, the video been working all this time. I've been talking to you. You've been seeing me move. And as soon as we go live, this happens.
Right.
Yeah, that's interesting. But interesting, can they hear me? Can the people hear me?
Yeah, they can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay.
Clearly.
I just have a horrible video.
No, it's not that you have a horrible video. Video is cool. It's just stopped. It's frozen.
This is horrible. See, this is why I can't take this long coming on here again. Like, my computer is even confused as to what's happening right now. So,
how would your computer be confused?
Well, my camera that's on my computer.
Right.
Okay, yeah. So what do we do, Strick? Do I
Well, you,
just say the little blurry? Oh, I'm kind of moving.
no, you're
Am I
moving
moving
now.
good?
You're moving now. That's what's up.
Look at God. Praise the Lord, y'all.
And
Look
you're
at what
back.
happened.
Hey, can I tell you something really cool while I got you here? I
What's up?
actually have been working on a Christmas We Give organization program. I told you about we wanted to do the shopping spree thing, and I got one
Yeah.
of the local WalMarts to say, hey, we could do it in their Walmart. So more
Nice.
details to come. Strick City We Give. New Rising Star Church is a part of it, and we have some other people that are going to be a part of pulling this thing off. But we're going to do shopping sprees for kids
Nice.
in the second week of, like the week before Christmas. We're going to be in Walmart's doing shopping sprees with the kids.
Nice, Strick. I
Like,
love
I'm
it.
really excited about it, and more details to come for everybody, so you'll know what part you can play, how you can give to it, because we want to do as many kids as we can. But already we got enough to do a great amount of kids, and I'm really excited about an opportunity to see some kids come into Walmart and be able to get what they want.
Yes, that is
That's going to
yes.
be hot. That's going to be hot. So hopefully I can go live from there. Like maybe have a setup and I can go live with the cameras following the kids as they're going up and down the aisles. It's going to be what's up. All right. That being said,
Nice.
can we get to the guest tonight?
Yes, I am super excited. I know if you are a fan of Strick City, which I know you all are, then you know I say that a lot, but I am extremely excited today because our guest today, she is also well, I'm not gonna say we grew up together because she's older than I am, just by a little bit. But we went to school together, and I feel like I've known her and her family like my whole life. So to see her do everything that she is doing, like I'm super inspired by it all, and I just cannot wait to talk to her. So tonight we have Miss Lori Croom, who is from Birmingham, Alabama. She practices optometry at the clinic that she owns called Now Vision Eye Care.
Yeah, it's just like
About a little
somebody
bit
moved.
later.
Like, hey, it's like somebody moved in your house and
Uh-huh.
the video went out. You know what I'm saying? You just kind of stop for a second, and even the audio. So she's got her own business as a, I can't say the word, optometrist. Is that right?
Optometrist. Yes.
Can we
Optometrist.
can we
Yes.
bring on the doctor right now?
Yes, we can.
All right. Oh, you got to introduce her. You got to say her name.
I was introducing her, but I didn't know if my video was working or not. So I was just gonna follow your lead there.
Dr. Lori Cruz. We got to get you on the show. So thank you so very much for being here. You've been really patient with us, me and Alo doing our thing because we can go back and forth for a very long time. But tonight it's about you, young lady, or should I say doctor? It's about you, doctor. It's a doctor in the building. You know what I'm saying? Congratulations to you and all your success. I have a couple of questions for you. Hey, I'm going to get started with my first question.
Okay.
A lot of people already know you, and they know you for more than being a doctor because some of the videos that you do on your social media page have already gone viral. How did that happen for you?
Well, first of all, good evening, guys, and thank you so much for having me on this show. Alo and I, we actually did grow up together, so that sounds about accurate. I have had a great time here backstage, and so now
That's
that I'm
cool.
glad to be with you guys. So how did I go viral for the first time? I was literally just I was getting ready to go one morning. I still had my pajamas on, and I had the night before, I think I had literally just been listening to Wipe Me Down. And every time I hear Wipe Me Down, like every time, I always just heard the Lord speaking to me through the first line, the opening lines of Wipe Me Down. And so
Listen,
I
Laura? Can I stop you right
yeah,
there? Can I stop you? I like. Are you that? Like, are you like that churchy that you hear gospel music out of secular music? Is that what it is? Are you
well,
are
see,
you
if I
that
was, I
much?
wouldn't be listening to the
If you
music.
that much of no, no, no. I mean, you know how church people, we're church people. We'll make anything. Like all the music's got God, and that's the remix version. Like it's
Well, to be
okay.
honest, Yes, so that is my, you know how people have, you know, they can whisper to animals, and you know people have different little senses. You know, for me it's literally hearing the Lord talk to me through uh any music, whether it be R&B, ratchet, trap music. I hear the Lord speaking to me. It doesn't really matter what it is.
That's
I just
funny.
always hear the Lord. But you know what? That's because, you know, sometimes, you know, when the word dwells in you richly, you cannot, sometimes you can't help it. You could be doing
See,
anything and you'll be like, yes, Jesus,
that is
yes, Lord.
so true. That is so true from one church boy to a church girl. You know what I'm saying? That is the truth. Like it's in us. Like it's gonna come out.
It's
There's
in
nothing you
there.
can
It's
do
in there.
about it.
So
So
I was
question.
so I said, you know what, this is funny. This is a word for my friends on Instagram. So I just made a video of me pretty much just kind of breaking down really what preachers would call eisegeting the
Hmm.
text of Wipe Me Down. And that people on Instagram just, they thought it was hilarious. So I was like, oh, y'all caught the joke? I didn't think people would really catch the joke.
Right.
And so once I thought it was hilarious, I was like, well, let me just share it to Facebook. I had been on Facebook for honestly almost maybe 2.5 years at the time. And I was
Hmm.
like, oh, let me just share it to Facebook. Facebook, you know, and then I put it on there, and then that's where it just went crazy. People just started sharing it, had like thousands of shares and almost 1 million views now. And it was crazy. Like the Shade Room reposted it. World
Wow.
Star Hip Hop reached out to me and and asked to buy the video. It was
Wow.
there was an article written on it on vh1.com, vibe.com, and a lot of other, you know, random little things like that happened. And I was just like, wow. And now I've become Instagram friends with the Foxamillion, who is the infamous guy who said I pull up to the club VIP, gas tank on E, but all drinks on me. And so it just randomly just, and I just thought to myself, dang, if I knew I was gonna do all this, I would have changed out of my pajamas.
That's
But
funny. I did notice that, by the way.
out of my pajamas, I was just, you know, oh well. Next time, I was like, next time I'll just wear something else. But yeah, it ended up being a really interesting little phenomenon that happened there. So now every now and again, I'll be somewhere and somebody will literally just be like, "Aren't you the
You
girl
that
that did the
girl.
little wipe me down?"
That's
And I
really
just be like,
cool.
yeah, that was me. And sometimes I'll be seeing a patient. Like I'll see a new patient and I won't know them. And, you know, I'll just be like, well, how'd you find the clinic? You know, being all professional and stuff.
Right, right,
And
right.
they're like, I follow you on Instagram. And then at that point, I'm just like, this is awkward. This is awkward. But they're like, no, it's all good. It's all good. That's why I came. So it helped me get more patients, actually.
That's really cool that you would see an uptake in business because of that. But they would have to research to figure out who you are to know that you're a doctor as well, right? Because it's not in the video, right?
No, not in that video, but they just, some people just followed me. So what happened was after that but video went viral, I started getting messages from random people across the country, and they would just be like, "Well, you know, I've been going through this, that, and the third lately, and your video just really encouraged me. And you know, my pray, please, can you pray for my family, and can you make more videos?" So then I was just like, well, yeah, you sure? Okay. Make
Right,
more videos, fine.
right.
And so, pray for you, make more videos. And so that's what I ended up doing. So I started a separate page called My God Today, which actually is the page of me just doing the same thing with different songs. And so that's how people started following it.
That's really cool. And as people are following you, you are a doctor that has gone to, like, I know you went to Spelman, and where else did you go to school?
UAB,
UAB.
UAB School of Optometry.
That's what's up. And you're from
Yeah.
Birmingham, so is that Shades Valley that you graduated from?
Whoop whoop.
Shades Valley, Mounties. Yep.
So sorry to hear that.
I
Hey,
know.
don't do
It's
that.
fine. No, I mean,
Wait,
nothing wrong with Shades Valley. Nothing
No,
wrong
there's
with
nothing
Shades
wrong
Valley.
with Shades Valley. I'm joking. I'm
We're
joking.
just
It's a joke.
we this is aside from any topic. My thing about Shays Valley, we don't, how you see these other schools, they have alumni weeks and they have picnics, they have
Mm-hmm.
special t-shirts that they wear, they tailgate, they reunion. We don't really do that. We're
There's
just
it's
like,
Yeah,
not.
we don't.
we just went there and we just did a few little extracurriculars and graduated. That was it. Got a diploma. That was a wrap. They didn't give us like that
Yeah.
school pride. So I'm jealous. I do get jealous when I see other schools and their nights at the platinum and all this different stuff like that. I'm just like, we don't do that.
That's
Right.
funny that you would say their nights at the platinum. That is hilarious. Like y'all in the Mounties, right? In it, the Mounties.
Yes.
Like y'all go in
Yeah,
the mountains and hike. You know, you don't gather, you hike.
we don't go to the platinum. We don't. We don't go to the platinum. We don't have free. We don't. It's kind of sad, but even if somebody were to put it together, none of us would
Well,
probably
nobody would
come.
go. Nobody would go. That's hilarious. Um, so what happened one day when you decided I want to do this video,
The first,
like
the viral video,
the viral video?
nothing,
Now, so did you
nothing.
do?
I'm just
Did you
silly.
have you done them before? Like, have you gone live before with particular quotes or anything, or did videos just to post?
Well, I was just a typical Instagrammer. You know what I'm saying? If I find something interesting or funny, I'd post it, but nothing that has garnered that much attention. No, I mean, to me, I was funny all the time in my head,
I got
but
you.
I just didn't think anybody else. I didn't think other people thought it, but I would be cracking my own little self up all along. And then whenever I posted that, that's why I was so surprised that other people found it funny and shared it. So, yeah.
I feel like y'all can hear me, right? Even though
Yeah,
my
we got
video
you.
is
Go ahead.
tripping. Okay, cool, cool, cool. So, where did your love of music come from? I mean, because your whole book, well, not the whole book, because I haven't read the whole book, but most of it is quotes from music. So, where did your love of
It's
music come from?
You know, honestly, it's literally just me. I guess the years that I was in college, that I was in living in Atlanta. Um, I was exposed to a lot of different types of music. I've always loved music. But the thing for me is just that I felt like as a person who did grow up in the church and I love gospel music more than any of the genres. Um, but that's just not the only genre that I know. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes
Right.
I think people assume, that we don't know the same music that everybody else knows.
Right.
I
That
was
it's not
like,
there.
come on now, these same people know the same music too. And so I'm like, if we already know the music and we already know the words and we're already listening to it anyway, we'll use it for something that's gonna be edifying. You know what I mean? Kind of
Yeah.
where it comes
Hmm.
from. Down the road and you're trying to keep from falling asleep. I mean, you're just not gonna necessarily listen to Jones Brothers or Shirley Caesar, or when you're running on the treadmill, and I do listen to John P. Key on the treadmill, but I'm just saying it's not always gonna be, you know what I'm saying? It's not always going to be like Kirk Franklin and the Family that you listen to when you're trying to keep it going, keep your exercise up. So I'm just like, because we have this additional knowledge base of all these songs, of all this music, of all these lyrics, I felt like it would be cool to use that to our advantage spiritually. Because, a lot of times we take stuff, I think a lot of times we'll take stuff from God and try to relate to the world. But, but instead, for this, it's kind of backwards. It's like I've taken something from the world and pointed it back towards God. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes a lot of
Yeah.
sense. I understand it
Yeah.
completely. So let me ask
Yeah.
you this question: did you growing up like here in Birmingham? Did you listen to gospel jams like in the morning, Sunday mornings?
Yes, I did. Every now and then on the way to church, I
Right.
would would hear
So
you guys.
so it
Yeah.
was my idea that people wanted to hear uh, the music or the style of music they would normally hear during the week, that style, but not have such of the bad language and lyrics content. So it was that whole thing for me because I agree with you. Like there are certain times where you listen to John P. Key, Shirley Caesar, Kirk Franklin, and all of that. And then there's certain times where, you
Right.
know, people would listen to the same radio station, even that I was on. I just knew that they're gospel hip hop, gospel rap. Some people that have the same sound, they just changed the lyrics and it would still kind of give people a feeling of enjoyment. Like this is the
Right.
style of music that I like. But
Yeah.
I get it 100% because if you're exposed to that and you like it and you're like, well, you know what? God can use this as well. And he could use
Yeah.
it to talk through. Now, I will say there's some stuff out there, music wise, and what they play on the radio that is so far to the extreme that there's nothing that anybody could do with. Like, what
You
in the
know,
world
you
did
that.
that person just say?
I would say you're right about that. I would say most things that I listen to, I can find some type, like again, like I said, it's like a special sixth sense, but I can find some type of message to extract from it. But to be honest, there were some of the more recent ones. I was like, I can't get nothing out of this. I'm sorry. It's gone too far gone. I just can't, I just gave up. I was like, what
Right,
did you say? So I
right,
could
right.
some of them I just couldn't, like, to be honest, and I won't call any, artist names or whatever, but some of them I was just like, sis, there's nothing I can do with this. So
Right.
I couldn't.
Well, I think the industry has, they have to do what they could do to push the envelope. And sometimes pushing the envelope for attention could go to such extremes. Like, there's only so many ways that you could say some of the, I don't know, like, it's age old when most of the people, when you get to secular music, most of it is circled around sex. So, however, they could come up with strange ways or different terms to talk about it and things to do. It's just some of it is just like for real. Like y'all, this is what made it to the radio. And that's
Yeah.
me. That's me. Like,
And that's why, you know what? That's why the name of my book is I Got Today 365 Devotions for people who might be a little ratchet, but God knows your heart. Because a lot of the times, like, for instance, with Gucci and Jeezy having their battle, tonight, a lot of people really love their music, but you've never stood on a corner and sold drugs. Like, you don't
right,
do that type of thing in your life. You would
right,
never be in the club popping Molly and doing such and so forth. Like, you don't
right,
even
right,
do
right,
that.
right, 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 right.
But
Yeah.
as an art form, they enjoy the music because it's very creative. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, the beat and just all that different stuff. It hypes people up, makes them feel good, gets them excited to start their day. But they're really, and they in their heads, they're just like, but in real
Right,
life, it's like,
right, right, right,
man,
right, right.
you're an accountant, sir. You're
What can I?
you're
I
an
was.
accountant and you love the Lord.
Let me be honest. Can I be honest with you, Laura and Alo? Let me be honest with you guys. I understand the music. You made an example of, people not being on the corner. I'm not the guy that would go into any club and just throw money up in the air. Like, I don't care how
Mhm.
popular that is. I'm just not going to go somewhere and throw money. If I did just go somewhere and throw money, I'm the one picking it up. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else stop because I need that money back. I didn't do that on purpose. That was a
I
mistake.
did not mean to make it rain. I'm so sorry.
so to celebrate that, and guys are like, hey, this is what we're doing. Like, we're just gonna go make it rain. Like, I don't. That's not something I'm gonna celebrate. I don't mind giving to people, but I won't give that way.
Right. Right. It's just not realistic for most people who actually enjoy the music and listen to it. It's not even really which is why it's part of it is unfortunate because younger people a lot of times may or may not be able to separate reality from some of these music lyrics. But some of the
True.
people who are, like you said, in their 40s and in their 30s and, just go to work every day and never make it rain in the club. They still listen to these songs.
I mean,
And
it's getting
so,
played. So listen, we're
yeah.
talking about music that has been either on the radio, which get tons of
Mhm.
listeners, or being streamed, and tons of listeners are listening to it. Like we don't want to shy away from. There's a pop. It's popular. They're making the music because it's popular. All
Yeah.
right, which
Yeah.
means that people are listening to it. In a lot of cases, like if we talk about "Wipe Me Down," that's probably from what's who? That's Bootsy, right? Bootsy, right?
Yeah. Lil Boosie.
Lil
Yeah.
Boosie.
Mhm.
Everybody knows the song. Like, and I think somebody picked it up. That's like one of their songs now. Like a group picked it up, and they always like dance to that particular song. Like, what can you do about that? It's
Mm.
in the community. People know about it. It is what it is. So now you, I gotta say this. You have to add.
But
Go ahead.
go ahead. No, I was gonna say, but what happens now is that for people who have been reading the book, now every time they hear the song, they're actually going to associate it with the message that they got from it now. And so
Right.
that's the crazy thing is, for instance, the let's just say one page is ran off on the plug twice, right? And that's a Plies, lyric, which Plies is crazy, but that's one of his lyrics. So now when they hear the song ran off on the plug twice, it's actually relating to the prodigal son and how sometimes God is our source, he's our supply, he's our plug. But soon as we get what we need, sometimes we run off on him. And so it goes into that little story. So now every time you hear the song ran off on the plug twice, you're going to be convicted. Like, man, I don't mean it. Did I run off
Yeah.
on the Lord? Am I still appreciating Him? Did I get what I need and then disappear and stop my routine, stop my devotion, stop my worship? And, every time I feel like I got what I needed. And so that's the cool thing about the book, because it basically makes people, when they hear that, now they can't help but hear it like that now.
So we can't get away from the fact I've been kind of building up to talk more about the book, but we can't get away from the fact that you have a book that is a 365-day devotional for people. There you go, A. And people can actually read this book, and it's based off of some of the things that you're doing on your page, My God Today, where you're taking some songs that everybody are familiar with and you're explaining them from a biblical standpoint.
Yes. Yeah, that's
I
exactly
absolutely,
it.
I love it. Like, what made you decide to do this?
I was actually, so when the pandemic hit, I had to shut down my office for about 2.5 months. And so I didn't know when I first shut it down, of course, I didn't know how long it would be shut down. And so, being a mom of two, I was, doing virtual school and, trying not to go crazy from that.
Right.
But being home, I was just like, all right, Lord, like so many people probably did, like, what do you want me to do with this time? Because mind you, of course, I'm not making, if I'm not working, I'm not making any money.
Right.
God sustained me, of course, through that. But I was just like, Lord, what would you have for me to do with this time? And to be honest, that's when he gave me the book to write. He was like, you can go ahead and write your book. And I was like, oh, I have a book. Didn't know I
Wow.
had a book. Really didn't know I was supposed to be writing a book. Someone a couple of years ago had mentioned something about like, oh, you should make these quotes and like into a coffee table book with some quotes in it or something. And I was just like, yeah, books not really my thing. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Because I'm not a writer per se. You know what I'm saying? I've never been formally like, trained to be an author. But so once that happened, the Holy Spirit, to be honest with you, literally just gave me each page.
Hmm.
And so I just went into really what I call Kevin Durant mode. You know what I'm saying? Where I was just like laser focused on writing the book. And so it didn't really occur to me that 365 pages is a heck of a lot of
It's a
pages.
lot
A
of
lot of
pages.
pages. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is in May when I start writing the book. And I completed the 365th page before the end of July, right?
Wow.
And so because it was just me, the Holy Spirit, and I was just in Kevin Durant mode. So after a certain amount of time, I had gone back to work, and then I said, I'll do a certain number of pages every day. And just so I would literally go to work, then come home and bathe the girls, feed the girls, you know, take care of them, put them down to bed, and just be as tired as I'll get out. And I'll be like, but I got 4 pages I got to get done today. You know what I'm saying? So I would
Right.
just do that. But like I said, the Holy Spirit really wrote the book through me. But that's all it was. It was literally just me asking God, well, what do you want me to do with this time that I'm at home and not working? So he gave me an idea for a book that will eventually sell 1 million copies. So talk about being out of
Come on.
work and not knowing where your income is
Yes,
going to come
ma'am.
from. And he's like, hey, guess what? I'll give you something that's going to last beyond even your lifetime. So, I'm just really grateful for it.
I love it. Not only have you have this book that you've written and it's out there, people can get it. They can get it on Amazon. Where else can they get it?
Amazon and LoriCroom.com.
What do you want them? So this is what I want to say to people. Like you gotta have like an area. Like everybody can give it from Amazon, but if you get it from the distribution point like Amazon take their cut. So we really
Yeah.
really want them to go to your website, right?
So yes, so yes,
You gotta
honestly,
tell the people.
I know it's gonna sound crazy, but I'm okay with either one. If you
I
want a
got you.
signed or autographed copy, then you have to get it from my website, LoriCroom.com. And I was shocked at how many people actually preferred to have an autographed copy because it literally costs a few extra dollars. And I was like, nobody's gonna pay to get my autograph. And then it just blew up where everybody wanted an autograph. So what happened was unexpectedly, I kind of got overwhelmed with orders, and like, so then I'd be going to work, I'd be getting the girls ready, I'd be going to work, and then I'd leave work, I'd go to my mom's house where I store all the books and all that, and then I'd be sitting there like at midnight, just like right now, because I do personal messages on all, just like right now with my eyes half closed, like, dear John, thank you for this.
Wow.
And so it was such a blessing, but I was so literally so exhausted, and I still obviously work full time, seeing patients and running the clinic and being a mom. That if you order off Amazon, I get paid less, but it's just so much easier.
I
Easier.
get it. I get
So
it
I'm like, it's like
100%.
it's like having a record deal. If you have a book on Amazon, it's like having a record deal.
It
They
is.
um they take care of literally everything. I could be asleep, and people buy books and I do nothing and the royalties will come to me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
I
I
get
am
it.
actually okay with either one. And I'm actually fine with it. That
So
was a
so
long way to explain
no
that.
no no. I completely get it. But let me tell you this: if you're saying the guy was telling you gonna be a bestseller, sell 1 million copies, right? Think
Yeah.
about it. Like if you sell 1 million copies, you get prepared to write another book, and you're a popular writer, and someone has an autographed copy of your first book. It's
Yeah.
it's worth more than what they would pay for it.
Yeah, and I guess I didn't even think about it that way, but it definitely is true. So signed copies, LoriCroom.com. I actually don't mind signing them. But like I said, if you don't care for a signed copy, it's okay. You can you
You
can get
get
it
it
on
on
Amazon.
Amazon. So it's funny to me because you spent the time to be a doctor, and I applaud you for that. I applaud you for being a small business owner. I applaud you for being an African American that's a small business owner. I applaud you for being a woman that is a business owner. But more than that, your list of who you are as a person, as a comedian, as a sketch comedy writer, like this is like blowing my mind away because I would be just fine with saying, yeah, there's a young lady that's an African American woman that has her own optometry business in Birmingham. That's great. She went to Spelman. She went to UAB. I champion her as a business owner. Everybody go get this young lady to look at your eyes. But then I watched some of the videos that you put out, and I was like, this girl is extremely talented. Like,
Ah,
not
thank you.
only do you have to write that, but then you act it, and I am sure you're doing the editing as well, right?
Most of the editing, yes. There's only been one or two
Wow.
videos where I didn't edit myself, but yeah, yeah.
Dr. Croom, this stuff is great, doctor.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Well,
This is
God is
great.
good. God is good. I think one of my ultimate goals is just to be like I really do like what you said. I think one day my brother was telling me this. He was just like, they're gonna be like, and on the side, she's like an eye doctor on the side.
Right, right.
Right.
So I'm just like, that's cool if I could just do that. But I believe that God is going to use all that for something. I don't know exactly what all yet. He's starting it with this book and with the page and with the videos, but I really do believe God has something planned that bigger that I just haven't even thought of yet. So I'm
Well,
excited.
we're excited for you. Definitely to have you on. Like Alo is like, we gotta get this girl. Like Alo,
Yes.
not only knowing her like through the time, like what made you say, hey, Strick, we gotta have her on as a guest?
I mean, because she's super talented. I mean, I had the book and I had been reading it for a while. And I was like, this is super creative. Like, I mean, for instance, I just have to, because I have the book right here. For instance, like, okay, I randomly hit July the 29th. I'm Your Pusher by Clips is the title of this one. But then it goes to Proverbs 27:17 at the end of it. Like, I haven't read the middle just now, but how she relates everything back to the word of God. Like, I remember that song, I'm your pusher. You know what I'm saying? But
Mhm.
now when I read Proverbs 27:17, I might have a whole entirely different revelation. Like, I just thought it was just super creative how she tied the two together. And I was like, we gotta get her on the show. Then I did more research and I was like, she's a doctor, which I already knew that. She has two beautiful daughters. And I mean, like I said, we went to the same school. So of course. Oh, and her new video, y'all, please go to Lori Croom on Facebook, on YouTube, on her Instagram, and y'all check out her new Christmas promo. You're definitely going to love it. You're gonna love it. But I have
Thank
another
you.
question for
Yeah.
you. We
Yes.
can't let you get off without me asking you an eye question, okay?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
I have to ask you, how often should we actually be getting eye exams?
Annually.
Annually.
Yes.
Annually. Wow. You know, I have never been to the eye doctor. Is that a bad
For real?
thing?
For
I've
real?
never been
You
to the
never
eye doctor. Never
shut your
been.
mouth.
I'm 33
Well,
years
it's good
old.
to have annual eye exams because a lot of times people will have good vision and so they won't go. But a lot of things that we check for, you could have great vision, but for instance, I have had a patient who, hadn't had his eyes checked in probably 30, 40 years. His vision was good. His vision was clear. He drove the bus for like max, right?
Mhm.
But he had glaucoma, which has not many symptoms. You can't feel it. You don't know what's going on. It takes your peripheral vision away slowly. So one year you may be able to see all the way out here in the periphery, and then the next year it's right here. Well, people don't notice it till it gets in here. You know what I'm saying? And by then it's too late, and then they end up going blind. So whenever he came in, his vision was already here, you know?
Mhm.
And so he had just feeling like his vision was because his central vision is still very clear, 2020. He can read the 2020 line, but he didn't realize that. So if he had come in, had his eyes checked, the glaucoma could have been managed, his vision could have been spared, and he was towards the final years of driving the Max bus, and because his peripheral vision had gone, he actually ended up not being able to continue on in this career that he's had for all these years and was hoping to retire from. So it was like a older black man, and like I literally just sat in there with him and we cried. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it because it
Yeah.
broke my heart when I saw him crying. Now I'm crying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I had to
Yeah.
comfort him. And I had to, comfort him, and he ended up being able to become a trainer, but he could no longer drive. And he just, it was so sad because it's just like, man, this stuff is so preventable. But that's why you have
Right.
to get it checked annually. Yeah.
And I'm
So
glad you said preventable. Are there any
Yeah.
lifestyle changes that one can make to help prevent eye diseases?
The best lifestyle change is start going to your eye exams annually, because some of the stuff you just have to have it looked at. You just have to have it checked on. You have to have it looked at. That's the main thing. Now, of course, a healthy just body is going to be healthier for your eyes. So, of course, smoking is very bad for your eyes. It can cause macular degeneration. And eating a good diet full of leafy greens, you know, vitamin A, C, E, zinc, lutein, zeaxanthin, all that stuff like that is going to help protect your eyes to a degree. But if you have something like glaucoma, it's hereditary. A lot of times it has nothing to do with anything that you could have done or not done. It wasn't anything you did that caused it.
Gotcha. Okay, and one last question, Strick.
no, no,
Is
I,
Hmm.
it
I like.
true?
Go ahead. I love the questions. Good questions.
Oh, okay. Is it true that carrots are good for your eyes?
In a way, it doesn't help in terms of whether your vision is going to be clear or blurry. A lot of times, people, if they need glasses, carrots not going to change any of that. But just like I was saying with the vitamins and everything, carrots have good
Mm-hmm.
vitamins for eye development. So, especially like, when you're younger and your eyes are still developing, carrots are good. But again, anything that's going to have your vitamin A, C, E, stuff like that is going to be good for your ocular health.
Did
Gotcha.
you use the word ocular?
Yeah.
Doctor, I'm gonna have to ask Siri to look that up for me. Like those are big doctor words.
I help. I
That's
help.
what's
Yeah.
up. So
Yeah.
we got some people in the comments that are classmates of yours and friends to the show. Kiki says what's up to you, Kiana Bonner, and then we have who is that? Annie Smoot. We got
Amy, Amy Stouts.
huh.
Hey, that's my homegirl, y'all. I just brought some. She made some Christmas gnomes for me last week, and they are beautiful Christmas gnomes. Wonderful.
That's what's up. I mean, is what was those are little characters or what?
Yeah, they're like little stuffed little Christmas gnomes, and she made them like she can make them for if you white, she can make one with a white nose. Mine is like a brown nose, and it's one for myself, with my name on it and the girls' names on it. Just Christmas decoration.
Oh,
That's
cute.
what's up. So big shouts out to
Cute.
Denise that actually made a comment as well. Everybody's talking about this Dr. Croom lady that I was so recently introduced to, and I am like overwhelmed with the talent that you have. Like the sky's the limit. If I ever come into your store like to get my eyes checked out, number one, don't look funny. And don't be like, I don't know who this guy is. Like,
It's
who is
no
this guy?
judgment. Okay,
Like,
you're here. That's what matters.
right. And your copay.
Right. You're here. That's all that matters. And then going to tell your copay. We're good.
Right, 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 right. That's what's
So,
up.
Miss Lori, I
Yeah.
also see
Uh-huh.
I see that you recently went vegan. How has that been going?
I did 2 years ago. It'll be 2 years this month.
It's 2 years.
It's
Okay.
great. It's great. To be honest with you, I never thought that I could do it, but I said I would do it for like 2 months just to see how it felt. And by the time I was just like a few weeks in, I was like, oh snap. And so I wasn't going, I needed the extra energy. And I do credit being vegan also with being able to write this book, because you get so much more energy than just honestly the average person who, when you eat animal products, you just walk around with this low key state of itis like all the time, not really
Right.
knowing that it's going on. And so when you get rid of it, your body's like, oh snap. Well, we don't need all to be using up all that energy trying to digest. You could use it for whatever you want to use it for. So the energy comes back to you. And I honestly went vegan for the energy, because having two young, I mean, my children are young. Okay. So they're 4 and 6 now. So, that's a lot. When I went vegan, they were 2 and 4. And so, and then trying to work and everything like that, it was just like I was tired all the time. And so now it's just like the energy levels completely different. And I had to say, vegans are more positive people, usually.
I get it.
People would say it all the time. You know how you talk to a vegan and they're just like, you just vibrate on a higher level and it's just like a higher level of positivity. And then you're just like, oh, okay, sure. But then when I went vegan, I was like, oh snap, I'm vibrating on this higher level of positivity.
That's
So
sweet.
it was like I got it. So I definitely anybody that's interested, it's worth a try. I don't think it's for everybody, but for me it's good. I used to be diabetic and my I'm no longer diabetic.
That's what's
My
up.
A1C is like way in the normal range now. So it actually helped me out health wise and mentally, physically. So and it helps you focus. So I definitely
What's
suggest it.
what's your favorite vegan meal? Cause I don't know about vegan.
My favorite meal is tacos, period, point blank. Tacos all day, every day. Even before I went vegan. Once I found out I could eat tacos and be vegan, that's when I made the switch. Because I was like, yeah, can't give up tacos. But once I found out, then I was good. So I vegan tacos, that's it. I use depending on sometimes I'll use jackfruit or something like that, but also sometimes they just have plant based like ground basically tastes like ground steak, ground beef, and I use that to make my tacos with.
That's cool. Hey, did you freeze
Yeah,
again? At
it's
least
great.
you freeze. Alo froze with a smile on her face. You know what I'm saying? I'll take that. Um, this has been
Dude,
like so very enlightening to me, like all the aspects of who you are as a person, because I think, I get a chance to do this show and introduce people and introduce them to my audience and basically, whether it's on YouTube, Twitter, which is done through Periscope or Facebook, people are watching this, but just like your videos, they're kind of just out there. And people, even if they don't watch live, they could continue to come back to it. And people do, and they'll
yeah,
get a chance to know you. And they'll come to the your store or your office, your business. And can we say that again? Let's just go ahead and
yeah.
plug that part of who you are again.
Thank you. No, it's both. It is a store. It's an optical shop and an optometry clinic. So it's actually, you know what? It's located. It's called Now Vision Eye Care, located
Come
at
on.
2226 First Avenue South, Suite 103. That's Birmingham, Alabama, 35233. We're right along the Rotary Trail downtown. All right. Phone number 205-777-5572. Um, but I will say God is good because I did start that practice from scratch with like no patience. And
Wow.
I would literally sit there some days, like watching Fresh Prince on TV, just hoping that somebody would call and set up an appointment. I worked part time in a prison doing optometry visits for the male inmates at one of the federal correction facilities, just trying to build up my practice. And so, that being said, I don't even have any appointments left for the rest of the year, and I have not had any slots open. The year got booked up a few weeks ago, and
Wow.
so going
Wow.
from not having patience and just wishing I had patience and working at the jail trying to just make ends meet, to literally being completely booked up for the rest of the year. I think end of October it was a wrap. So now we're booking into January of next year. And I'm just grateful for that, man. That's just all God. All
So
God.
Praise God.
so tell me what God is telling you out of all of that. Like in this season of your life, what do you think he's saying to you?
That is just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. It's for me. Because a lot of that time I would think like maybe I made a mistake or maybe I need to, I'm in over my head or I need to just try to go get a job somewhere, somebody else, but all along it was really just a matter of time. And I think that's the thing with the book too, because in my head I was like, boom, I'm gonna drop this book. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna sell 1 million copies by
Right.
Christmas. You know
Right,
what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
I'll be a millionaire by New Year's. You know what I'm saying? Like in my head, like I thought that was gonna be the case.
We finna fill
Which
up
I will
this
say,
money.
It's actually sold. It was the number one new release in the whole entire devotional category on Amazon in its first couple of weeks of being out, which is
Wow.
still very stellar. You know what I'm saying? That's amazing. And I have a brother who's written a book. My oldest brother wrote a book called Marvin and the Man, and it's been
Hmm.
out for a little over 10 years now. It's a novel, and he's like, and my books, I would just say it's for so far it's sold a couple thousand copies, you
Gotcha.
know. And I'm thinking, dang, like it should be at 1 million by now, you know. But my brother's like, I haven't sold that many copies in this whole 10 years that it's been out.
Wow.
And he was like, so you're actually doing pretty good for it to be a first time author, like an unknown author, to get to the number one new release on Amazon and to already have a couple thousand copies sold, and it only came out in September. So again, God just keeps telling me like it's just a matter of time. Don't, you know what I'm saying? Don't get antsy. Just be patient and wait on the process, and just prepare myself for whatever the next thing God is taking me to, just to make sure my heart is right, and that I have the right people around, just all that kind of stuff, just to prepare me for it. So that's what I get from this little season.
So what do you think the next thing is? Like, what do you think he's saying the next thing is for you?
I'm not 100% sure. I think that the book itself is going to. I think once it starts to sell, like really kind of, the word I keep hearing is wildfire, right? So
Okay.
it's just like I keep hearing that it's going to catch on like wildfire. And so I on a just on a whim, I sent a copy of the book to Cora Jakes Coleman, who is TD Jakes' daughter. And she got the book, she received the book, she started reading the book, and now she shares it on her live videos every Monday night with all of her followers. So she reads a devotional every Monday night and talks about it. And it's TD Jake's daughter, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's really no end to the possibilities. I don't know what it's going to be. He may have me go on book tours one day. Maybe I'll be, speaking. I neglected to mention that I'm also a preacher, which I did preach my first
You didn't
sermon
have
this
to
year.
listen. You didn't have to tell us you're a preacher. We already know it. Like
Oh,
you
okay,
told
cool,
you just,
cool,
oh,
cool.
hey guys,
But
by the way, I'm
shout
a
out,
preacher. No, we know that you're a preacher.
I
Like
preach, I preach a little bit on the side from time to time. I preach a little bit on the side. But
that's
but shout
funny.
out to Faith Walker's Church of Birmingham.
That's where you go.
Pastor Kelvin,
Listen,
yeah,
listen.
Kelvin
I
Bryant is my pastor. You know how funny he is.
listen. I absolutely love your pastor. You know what I'm saying? He comes visit our church a lot. He's friends with my pastor. He comes visit, and I absolutely love him. And he's really, really good people. You got a great pastor. That's the truth.
He's awesome. I love him. So I appreciate him for even giving me the opportunity and helping to kind of mold me up as a young first just beginning preacher. But he is such a great preacher himself that I learned a lot from him.
That's
Do you
cool.
think there's a
Yeah,
church
yeah.
in your future, Lori?
No, nope, nope, nope. If anything, and me and my pastor talked about this. He was like, he's like, you could be like Joyce Meyer. He was like, have you ever seen her pastor a church? Have you? Because all that drama,
Mm-hmm.
I'm here for church.
Yeah.
I love the house of the Lord and everything like that. I'm always, everybody, don't forsake the assembling of yourselves together. But it's just so much. You know what I'm saying? You really
Yeah.
have to have that specific call on your life for pastoral ministry. And so my ministry is not at all pastoral in nature. Uh, and so I pastor my clinic.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it as far as that. But I definitely do. If I could write and just encourage people with the word and then leave.
That'll be it, huh? Hey, listen, there's a
Yeah.
space. There's a space for that as well. And um,
Yeah.
I'm a.
And maybe I can just move out. Maybe I can just move out somewhere.
So I work at a church, and Alo is a PK, of course. He's a pastor's kid, so we absolutely understand. Listen, if you don't feel the
Mhm.
calling, and even if you do, you
Yeah.
make sure, you absolutely make sure, like
Making
he's
a call
going.
and election, sure.
Yeah, you make sure that this is what you want to do. Like it. Listen, people get into it. They think there's some glamour with it, and it may look glamorous on Sunday, but you got to go Monday through Saturday to get to Sunday. And there's some other stuff that
Man,
goes
what?
on that people are just not aware of, and you really, really have to be sure that God is calling you to do
Yeah,
it, and not that it's cool.
yeah, my granddad pastored the church that I grew up in for 47 years.
That's cool.
Shout out First Baptist Church of Graymont,
That's
um,
cool. That's
in
what's up.
Smithfield, Alabama. And so I'm not a PK, but I'm like a PGK for grandkid. And so I did see a lot of stuff. And it was such an amazing church. It was I love it. That's really where the foundation of the word that I even know that's where it came from. But I just know that there's so much demand, on pastors. And God bless them. I pray for pastors
Right.
because they have it.
Yeah.
They got it tough a little bit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
um, you know, just keep them lifted, really.
That's good that you would do that, to even have that as knowledge, to know I need to pray for not only my pastor but pastors, because they
Yeah.
do go through a
Yeah.
lot. They do go through, and
God bless
this
y'all.
has been a
God bless
tough
y'all.
time for a lot of people during this pandemic. And you kind of gave your testimony how you decided that, hey, I'm going to be super productive. Like you went in hyper mode. This show, like
Mhm.
what me and Alo are doing now, is out of the pandemic. Like we talked about doing some stuff for a long time, but hey, the pandemic came. Guess what? We could do this now, and that's how we got started
Yeah,
as well.
it's the clarity of 2020. I think a lot of people hate this year because, everything that's been going on. But if it's not done anything for anybody else, it should have cleared some things up for people because it's really everything that's going on in the country. There's not a lot of if you don't understand, if you don't see something in 2020, it's because you don't want to see it.
Gotcha,
You know what I'm saying? It's like you just
gotcha.
don't want to. Well, there's a lot of clarity. So I think with y'all, this program, which I love, I think it's amazing. It's a great show.
Thank you.
And for y'all to have that clarity to say why not now, you know what I'm saying? I think that's just another result. So a lot of people are coming out of 2020 with honestly more than when they went in. So
Yeah.
it's a blessing.
That's cool. That's cool. Now, hey, you always end up with some great questions, like better than me. So I know you were holding one for us, right?
Uh, Actually, I can't even. My video has thrown me all the way off
I
today.
I have a last one. As you're
Okay.
growing, this is my last one for you, Dr. Croom. I'm being so official. You know what I'm saying? Calling her doctor. That's so cool. Um, as you're growing in this, have you established a team to help you? Because I see some of the stuff that you put out. Your photos that you put out. They're so very well done. You look great. The things that you're doing, they're very well produced. You got actors that are in your videos now. Like, do you have a team of people that are working with you?
No, I don't. Somebody reached out to me the other day and was like, "Has your PR person thought about doing such and so forth?" And I was like, "PR person? Y'all think I got a PR? I make it look like I got a PR person? Yes.
Yes, you
I know it,
do.
But no,
right?
I don't have a team as of yet, and like other than just people like working at my office, but I don't have any. My mom helps me package up the books. Um, she
That's cool.
recently retired, so she
Shout out
helps
to
me pack the
mom.
books. Thanks, Mom. I
Uh,
appreciate you for all your help. My daughters have helped me pack up some of the
Oh.
books. And my photographer, Danny Austin, shout out to him.
My
I always use him.
Listen, I could have
Um,
just I
and
I
then
should have known that Danny was the photographer. That's my dude. That's my dude. Love him
shout
to
out to
death.
Danny. Shout out to Danny. Great to work with. But also the my actor that I had for the last one, I literally just made a Facebook post and I was just like, does anybody know somebody in between the ages of a black male who, and that was it. And it turns out that my cousin responded, and like my actor was my cousin's cousin.
I
So,
got you.
so yeah,
That's
it
what's
just
up.
worked. No, I don't have. I'm trying to get. I need to assemble a team. I think I just don't. I haven't been able. I've literally just been working and trying to ship out books and raise my children. So it's been hard. So, but I will assemble a team. That'll be my next step.
And
Yeah.
I asked you that question because as you grow, that's one of the things that's going to help you continue to grow is having people. But I understand the difficult part of that. I'm right there with you. Like there's some things that I want to do. I can't do it until I get a few more people. But as you bring on people, like a lot of people don't volunteer. Like you gotta be able to pay them, and that gets to be the
And
difficult part.
I am accepting applications right now for a personal assistant position.
That's
Because
what's
it's
up.
just it does get a little bit overwhelming because my daughter will be like, I need a pumpkin by tomorrow for virtual school. And I'm like, since when did you need a pumpkin?
Right.
And she's like, it's on the email. And I'm like, oh, right. And so it's hard to keep up with it.
Hmm.
And she'll just, they'll be like, we need candy corn and toothpicks. I'm just like, since when? And so I will I am trying to look for help in just overall help. So yeah.
So she said it. Alo, we got something else hot off the press. It happened
Yes.
right here on Strick City. Dr. Crooms is looking for an executive assistant. I had to dress it up a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
I'm an executive.
Huh?
I'm an executive of two companies now because I started an LLC for my book business.
That's
And so
what's
you're
up.
right. It is executive technically.
That's what's listen, I absolutely love this. I am so glad A said we had to have this young lady come to the show. I didn't know. Like when I went to this, like she did what? She's doing what? And then I went to the website and I actually text Alo after I went to the website because the website said like in the subtitle it says the Ratchet Whisperer.
Right. He
I'm
did.
like this
He
girl
did.
like because listen, if you know your role, if you know
Yeah.
where you're trying to go, if you know the target audience that you have, that's half the battle. Sometimes people are
Yeah.
aimlessly like, I'm just doing this, that, or what. But if you know this is where you're going and how you're reaching people, and if you got the Jake's people reading your manuscripts to folks, your devotional to people on there, you got it going on. And I am so happy that you took the time tonight to hang out with us, that the little Strick City live show could be a part of your journey.
So yeah, yeah. I appreciate you guys for having me. It's an honor.
Well, thank you so
Thank you,
very much.
Angelo. I
Yes.
appreciate you, girl.
Girl,
I
no, thank
appreciate you.
you. Thank you for inspiring the little people. We appreciate you.
Girl, that.
That's what's up. So here we go. Hey guys, hold what you got really quick. I am like, this is so very cool. Alo hooked up a great night tonight, and I hope that you hung out with us for a little while. And like you saw the doctor, the speaker, the author. Go get the book, My God, today. This young lady, I'm just like, we have a lot of talent in the city of Birmingham. And I want you to take a note from me. Start celebrating your brothers and sisters. Like, can we all do this together? Like, can we all blow up together? Can we all go buy the My God Today book together? Go support her, Amazon, or go to her website and pick it up. I got some exciting news. I already dropped it earlier today, but we're doing a shopping spree for kids in December. More details to come. I pulled it off. Another Strict City, but this time it's going to be mad crazy for the kids. Hey, thank y'all for hanging out with us tonight. This has been Strict City Live.